Now in its 7th season, the GJW Direct Sail Juice Winter Series has become the biggest dinghy handicap racing series in the UK. Last winter's series attracted more than 1,000 sailors from 82 different classes to 7 different events. The 7 events put competitors through the whole range of conditions, from a windless drifter to a howling gale, sometimes all in the space of the same weekend. And these 7 events produced 7 different winners, showing just how competitive the GJW Direct Sail Juice Winter Series has become. First event was the Fernhurstbrook's Draycott Dash in late November. The wind turned appropriately icy overnight before the weekend after a few weeks of unusually mild November weather. And despite a terrible forecast, 124 boats entered for the handicap event, just 6 short of Draycott Water's maximum quota. It was so windy on Saturday morning, gusting over 35 knots, that some competitors waited longer than they should have, in the mistaken belief that the race committee would delay the start. But those competitors were caught short, and amongst those that were late were none other than Nick Craig, multiple Endeavour champion, and Sarah Bynes, his crew in the Merlin Rocket, who could only catch up to 25th in that race. Reigning Fireball World Champion Tom Gillard discovered that rigging a 505 takes a bit longer than expected and was also late, only managing a 43rd in the first race. Meanwhile, the GP14 World Champions of 2015, Ian Dobson and Andy Tunnicliffe, were muscling their sturdy ship around the Cairns to great effect, winning 2 of the 4 races on Saturday and topping the leaderboard overnight. Winner of the other 2 races was Draycott's own Ed Dalton, sailing a Sprint 15 catamaran, and Rutland's Val Millward also raced her Challenger to great effect in the strong breeze, which sometimes averaged 20 to 25 knots, but also including a few scathing gusts in excess of 35 knots. It's a great tribute to anyone who managed to complete all 4 races on Sunday, and to the race committee for sticking it out when there would have been plenty of justification to pull the plug early. It was a war of attrition that led to plenty of retirements, even accomplished names such as Nick Craig, whose shroud broke in race 3 and forced him out for the rest of the day. Sunday dawned to the complete opposite, the flat calm after the storm. Some boats, including some national 18s from as far afield as Lymington, Brightlingsea and even Ireland, had travelled especially for the day in hope of racing. Draycott Water was at least sunny, but the lack of wind was a concern. A 30-minute delay didn't produce any more breeze, and Katie Bynes' Optimist was first to start in the pursuit race in little more than a drifter. But then the wind did arrive about the same time as the Merlin started. It turned into a beautiful day's sailing, a force 3 in bright sunshine. But the later wind certainly played into the hands of the faster boats. Gillard and Cooch charged through from the back to win the pursuit race in their 505, and that was also good enough to give them overall victory. Second in the pursuit race was the Scorpion, sailed by Tom Jeffcoat and Rachel Rhodes, with Craig and Bynes third in their Merlin. A 7th in the non-discardable double points pursuit race wasn't quite sufficient to hold on to the overall lead for Dobson's GP14, which ended up 2nd overall, with Kevin Hope and Andy Stewart sailing their Fireball into 3rd. The top 10 produced a good spread of classes, with only the Scorpions and D0s getting 2 into the top 10. Harken donated prizes in 2 major categories this year, Youth and Junior. Hannah Cottrell from Harken was on hand to present the prizes.
Great to have the support of Harken. Hannah, any words?
We need the sort of control.
Yes, we're absolutely delighted to be a part of the Sail Juice Winter Series this year. Getting out racing during
the coldest months of the year is a very important thing to be a part of. And we hope that our youth trophy and prizes will go down well with the winners and go in some way to supporting youth sailing, which is extremely important. So thanks to everyone.
Thanks for Harkin, a great trophy. So in third place in terms of the people here, Thomas Southall for D0. Thomas led the youth series pretty much from the start to the end, but then it slipped slightly as we got to Rutland. He may not explain why, but if Thomas could come up and accept his prize, that'd be great. So Tom, how did it go?
Extremely well until the last one, really. The other guys that beat me in the end, well done to them all. It was a difficult race. We had about 25 to 35 knots of wind on the Sunday, so it's hard work and yeah.
Well done. Edward Hickson was second. Edward is down in Weymouth. The Lasers, for some reason, chose that they were going to do a qualifier, so they're not here. And our winning boat, who came really at the last minute, was Nick Devereux in a GP14. Woo! So Nick, that was a bit of a late call, but you did it in the end. Any tips for our aspiring sailors?
Just get out on the water, take time, and try not to capsize, really.
And you have a big year ahead of you with the GP14?
The Datchet Flyer saw 95 boats battle through both ends of the wind range. Just as at the Draycott Dash a few weeks earlier, the Saturday of Datchet was ridiculously windy to the point where the planes were virtually performing a vertical takeoff from nearby Heathrow Airport as they flew into the teeth of a southwesterly breeze that at times was gusting over gale force 8. With the wind already blowing hard as the fleet readied itself for 3 back-to-back handicap races around a challenging inverted P-shaped course, 82 of the 95 ventured into the unknown. The unknown being just when was this nice 18-knot breeze going to really kick in, up to 40 knots or more, as it had been forecast to do. Well, the answer came sooner than most expected, sooner than almost anyone would have liked. Race 1 got underway with the wind already gusting over 20 knots, and it got bigger throughout the next 40 minutes. This event was also serving as the MUSTO Skiff Inland Championships, and it was no surprise to see multiple world champion Richard Stenhouse charge to the front of the fleet in such apocalyptic conditions. But even the mighty Sten was knocked over twice by the big gusts, and it was the contenders that came to the fore, with Dan Taylor winning ahead of Nick Noble, and the Draycott winning 505 of Tom Gillard and Andy Cooch coming in third. Sunday dawned to gloom and gentle drizzle, and only the gentlest of breezes. Just enough to get racing though, and with a curtailed schedule the previous day, the race officer decided to hold a handicap race before the double points pursuit race showdown. James Wilson from Staunton Herald won the first race of the day in his streaker ahead of Daniel Goodman and Debbie Robertshaw's RS200 from the home club. Anne Jackson and Alan Skeens were third in their enterprise. After a rapid rearrangement from the inverted P to a more complex M-shaped course for the pursuit race, it was time to get things going for the non-discardable double points finale. Winner of the fast pursuit race was the Osprey from Weymouth, sailed by Terry Curtis and Richard Burton, which proved a handful for the normally faster asymmetrics, which on this occasion were really not much faster at all. Winner of the slow pursuit race was that Enterprise again, sailed by Jackson and Skeens. Their victory was sufficient, after discarding the windy race the previous day, to give them overall victory in the Datchet Flyer, ahead of the Fireball sailed by Matt Burge and Dan Sheba. Curtis and Burton's Osprey was third overall. Anne Jackson and Alan Skeens were crowned overall winners at Datchet. Just short of her 60th birthday, Jackson had shown the young guns the way round the track. Anne Jackson's Datchet victory put her in the hunt for the GUL Top Lady Prize, but by the end of the series, she had been pipped to the post by laser radial sailor Eleanor Craig, with Val Millward finishing third overall in her Challenger trimaran.
Hello everybody, hope you're having a great day at the dinghy show. They wanted me to say, come sailing in the winter. Buy the right equipment, keep warm, and do join us. The 600 odd entrants at the GJW Winter Series can't be wrong. So get involved, it is really good fun.
The 2015 Brass Monkey event at Yorkshire Dale Sailing Club was threatened with postponement due to the severe flooding across the north of England on the eve of the event. But a bit of rain was never going to put them off, and so a decision to go ahead was made, followed by a nervous wait. How many of those 101 entries would turn up for this, the third event of the GJW Direct Sail Juice Winter Series? On the day, there was constant sunshine, but some still had an interesting journey through or around those receding floods. But with 90 entries signing on from as far away as Stokes Bay, Mountbatten and Oxford, the decision to run the event proved the right one. After a short postponement to allow some late arrivals to rig, Richard Clayton, the principal race officer, set a trapezoid course over the full length of the reservoir. The fleet was divided into 3 starts, setting off 3 minutes apart. With virtually no wind forecast or evident elsewhere across the north, they were happy when the Grimwith effect delivered a variable force 1 to 2 breeze, which settled into a shifty but generally westerly direction. It did seem to drop slightly as the first fleet of predominantly hiking boats got underway under the I flag, with only a few having to return and just 1 OCS. They were quickly followed by the single-handers, and only 6 minutes later, the asymmetrics, who all started cleanly. With the wind staying light, even the fastest asymmetrics were struggling to make any significant gains into the lead of the early starters, and it was clear the winners would be coming from the slower fleet. A sunny and free lunch followed, with most sitting outside taking in the glorious Dale scenery in the unseasonably warm and sunny weather. What a difference 24 hours can make. But as the time passed, the diminishing wind died entirely. An hour later, The race was due to start, but there was no improvement, and so the call was made to cancel the last race. The result was to be on the earlier completed race. And so after the Great Lakes handicaps had been applied, Matt Mee and Lucy Yates from Hollingworth were worthy winners of the Brass Monkey in their RS200. Second were Keith Escrit and Andrea Clough from Yorkshire Dales, also in an RS200, with those GP14 World Champions Ian Dobson and Andy Tunnicliffe completing the podium places in third.
final top 10 overall.
Okay, so I'd like to invite Glenn from GJW Direct. They're our title sponsors. They've supported the series over the last 3 years, and I think they've helped it grow immensely. A great thank you for them. Glenn, it's been good to have you.
Yes, thank you, Simon. Well, on behalf of GJW Direct, we are extremely proud to be the sponsors of the Sale Juice Winter Series. This being our 4th year, I think 4th season, so very proud of that. It's a pleasure to see the event is being enjoyed by so many committed sailors of all different ages and abilities. The GJW Direct Sale Juice Winter Series has grown in numbers year on year, and with the venues, I think, nearing capacity. I would like to thank Simon Lovesey and Andy Rice for their support, dedication and hard work to make this event such a success. The racing takes place at 8 of the best venues around the UK, and we'd like to thank all those clubs that host this series, with special thanks to the race committee members, support crews on and off the water, first aid and supporting teams, and all the volunteers that make the event run seamlessly smooth. Well done and thank you and congratulations to the winners of all those that have taken part in the series. The competitors have travelled from all over the corners of the UK, braving and conquering the extreme winter weather. We applaud you all, thank you. Once again, thank you from GJW Direct. We are very proud to be playing our part in encouraging and supporting UK sailing, and we hope to see you all again next year at the GJW Direct Sale Juice Winter Series. Thank you very much, thanks all.
Okay, first Ian Dobson and Andy Turnicliffe, who I think are stuck in the north. Hang on here. Okay, Tom. Thank you very much. So Tom was second, again looking strong for first and so forth.
So, yeah, Tom, the event you won was one of the trickier ones, wasn't it? It was dogs off chains on the Saturday and pretty much flat calm on the Sunday. So what was your approach to that event?
Just take every race as it comes. I mean, it was very breezy on the Saturday, sorry. Yeah, we had like 4 races, I think, on the Saturday. So just repeat each race.
And did you use all your best gear when it was honking?
No, we used our old sails.
Good plan, good plan. There's wise words from a winner there for looking after your best kit. It's not going to make much difference to you in a Force 7, but it'll make a lot of difference to you if you haven't ruined it when it's Force 2 the next day.
Top glassware from GJW as well for second overall.